All right, welcome back to Georgeville Regenerative Grazing, GRG, newly official name, maybe. But I thought I'd take you back to a video I took earlier this year, not that long ago, but the same field. Just got the cows here, just put the mineral feeder in place. They are really consuming that mineral this time of year. You can still see just certain kinds that they're kind of going for, particularly hard on selenium and cobalt and some others. Things I don't know a whole lot about, but still kind of learning. I know selenium's could be for reproductive and like fertility things, which is good. So I'm glad they're consuming that because we need them to get bred back this time of year. And that can be sometimes tricky in this hot weather. But boy, look at this grass we have that they're on. This is going to be really nice for them. I think this is better than the last time we grazed it. I have to go back and look at the old video, but I think the fence that is over here was a little further north last time. And we put them on about just shy of 3/4 of an acre. So really a pretty tiny spot. I think, if I remember right, in the last video we put them on 1 acre over here. So we've shrunk it down a little bit, but we had better grass this time. There's our wire. It runs right up to that gate up there where them cows are all gathered. But boy, look at all the stuff we have out here. As in my last video, we have giant ragweed. Those leaves will be gone for sure. We have tons of red clover and wild carrot. They won't care too much about the wild carrot probably, but the red clover they'll go crazy for. And then we've got a little bit of ragweed starting to pop up this time of year. They will eat some of the tops out of that this time through, especially the little calves, but then they'll kind of start to stray away from it. Down here, this real thin leaf grass, we've got some bluegrass. Maybe not the greatest grazing grass all year long because it really doesn't do well in the heat, even though this grass looks awesome, but we've had good rain this year. And it doesn't produce the kind of forage that like a fescue or a orchard or brome or even the warm seasons would produce, but it's still doing a good job for us this time of year. And we'll take ground cover because it's better than bare dirt. And then over here we've got a little bit of, let's see, what do we have here? I might be wrong on this one. Boy, that's some nice grass right there. I think we might actually have some orchard grass right there. So that kind of surprised me. I thought that was going to be fescue, but it's a little different looking. But there is some fescue out here. Lots of good grass, though, as you can see. And maybe even some sedges, too. And they'll eat those. Some warm season variety grasses. If I look closer, it'll probably be some foxtails and stuff, which I know are not necessarily desired, but they will really graze well this time of year before they go to seed. The cows will go all in for those, no doubt. And then we've even got some stuff for wildlife here. We've got some nice little native flowers and species. You can see them out there a little bit too. And then our calves are just doing great. You can see this calf right here. I believe this calf was born in March or April. I have to look at the records again. But it's already consuming some clovers and grasses. It's still drinking mama's milk, so it's doing really good. That's a good looking steer calf right there. That's going to be a good calf to sell this fall, no doubt. And then if we walk down this way, I will show you what they came off of, just like I did last time, because it is a really, really good graze again, I think. Oh, before we get there though, here's some alfalfa mixed in with the clover. As you can see here, here's the alfalfa right there, and here's the clover. What I like about this is we've given enough rest here where, we still got some blooms that they're really gonna like, and they'll eat these too right here. But what I like is we gave enough rest. These right here are gonna have seed in them most likely. Let's take a quick look and see if we can knock any seed out of there maybe. See what we can get. Hard to do this with one hand, no doubt, but you spread that out and you break it apart, you'll find some seed in there. So that's pretty cool. If you give clover 25 days or more of rest, it'll go to seed like that, and you won't have to necessarily reseed your farm for clover. And then we've got alfalfa out here in little spurts, which is always good. And then here's some real good fescue right here. That's what fescue looks like. And you'll notice on fescue, like this big plant right here, you can see that's got a wide leaf, and you probably can't see this on the camera, especially as dark as it is. But this thing has got some serious veins in the leaf, running up and down with the leaf, and this time of year they feel awfully sharp. But that's a telltale sign of fescue right there. So yeah, as I said, as promised, let's walk on down here and take a look at this one they just grazed. Here's this old girl here. She's feeding a good calf, aren't you, girl? Maybe even that steer we were looking at. It's a very peaceful evening for moving cows. Pretty warm today, but everybody seems to be okay. So here's the pasture that they just grazed right on the other side. I don't know if a camera will do this justice to tell the difference between what's been grazed and what's being grazed. Probably not. Maybe other pastures would be better for that. But you can see we've got grass grazed down pretty short out here. Oh, but not short enough to hurt it. You can see that the tips are missing. This is right where they grazed under the fence. This is some orchard grass. Tips are completely gone. And that's probably still, I'd say 5 to 6 inches probably in height. So that's pretty good. And it's something funny out here. I never thought I'd see milkweed out here, which the cows, that's not for them. But they don't seem to bother it. It doesn't seem to bother them. You can see there's a big one right there. But I suppose if we can support the wildlife too, then that's a good example of what regenerative farming does for the landscape. That's a good, healthy way to promote our farming and the way we do it, and to keep all the people that wonder, what we're doing, and if we're hurting the landscape, but we can say no. We provide some habitat for wildlife, and we provide food for the nation and the world. And these big old girls here, and they restore the land and restore the soil, just as God made them to do, if managed properly. And you can see right here, this is kind of cool. We got some orchard grass seed going to seed right there. So we had a little bit of seed fall on the ground this year, which is always good. This field actually didn't have quite as much seed hit the ground as some others, I don't think, but it's still pretty good. You can see this girl here, she's getting her big old bite of clover. Aren't you, girl? Yeah. And really the flies, last time we talked about them, they're not too bad either. I know it's getting kind of dark, but she barely has any flies on her. It's really not bad. That's what you want to see, is just a very, very small amount of flies. Really, the cows are really doing good out here. So that's awesome. I shouldn't even say anything really, because it's been such a good year for flies and fly control. So between the garlic mineral, I believe, and probably just the fact that we keep them moving, I think that's a big advantage. I know they say sometimes that you should move them a little further than what we do to really keep the flies away, but I don't know. I think there's something in moving them just a little bit every day like we've been doing. So, boy, this cow here, she has quite the udder on hers, so she'll be a good milker. She's filling that bag right now, that's for sure. But yes, this is our graze for today. So as you can see what we came off of and what we're back on. And I hope to give each one of these probably at least, I'd say 40 days of rest from here on out. Maybe more if we can get it, but it might be a battle to get that much. There's our alfalfa being consumed. So yeah, species diversity, that might be the key for the key topic for this video. Just look at the species diversity that we have out here. Between our fescues right in front of us, and our foxtails out there, and even our ragweed and red clovers, and our alfalfa that direction over here, and our wild carrots, and out that direction we have our milkweed, and we have a few weeds that you rather wouldn't have out here, but they seem to be fairly easy to control. We haven't had a lot of trouble with them. But yes, diversity is key. White clover down here in the bottom, and your bluegrass, and of course your orchard grass. So yeah, it's a very, very diverse pasture. You can count a lot of species in a hurry. Your daisy fleabanes, and it's the farm's slowly getting better. This is one of these fields that has been a challenge, but I believe it's on its way up, and the cows are really benefiting from it. So if you like this video, keep subscribing. This is something I'm very passionate about. This is something I'll post videos as often as I can about, because I like showing you guys what we're doing. Like I say, this is about 3/4 of an acre. This was about 6/10 of an acre yesterday. This is a 3-acre field that goes all the way to the road, basically. So that puts us, maybe another just acre and 3/4 to graze probably. So if we can stretch that out, we might have at least 2, maybe 3 days before we get off this field. And that's 17 big head and currently 9 calves. So, and we'll have some late summer / fall stragglers. So it's a really good herd, and they're really benefiting this year. We're very thankful for all the rain we've gotten. And as always, remember, rest is the key if you're trying this on your own. Give that grass some rest and let it come back, let it recover. Thank you. Like and subscribe to Georgeville Regenerative Grazing. Thank you. Bye.